we know the president's going to talk about immigration reform. He gave a speech in Las Vegas about this. Republicans have been talking about it. Are we actually moving towards some consensus here, or are they moving farther apart?
I think we're definitely moving towards some consensus. That doesn't mean it's towards a perfect consensus or everything's been settled. I think what the most interesting thing this week was a hearing in the House Judiciary Committee, which has long been considered sort of the bastion of anti-immigrant sentiment. And the leaders of that committee have been some of the leaders of the Stop Immigration Reform movement. And what we saw this week was definitely a softer tone. Now, that's not to say they were ready to jump on the bandwagon for a path to citizenship. There was resistance to that. But they were talking about, well, maybe there's another legal status. So there's really two ways you can look at it. Like most things in Washington, you can say, well, hey, the parties are still apart. But I tend to look at it and say, given how far this issue has come, the fact that the debate is now between the fairly narrow band of whether people get citizenship or just they get to stay with some status short of citizenship, and we're still in February, and that's where the debate is. I think in a place like the House Judiciary Committee shows that we are moving towards possible actual enactment of something.
Colleen, I talked earlier to Cecilia Munoz, who's the point person in the White House on this, and she said that the president was expecting the Senate to come up with a bill in a matter of 4 to 5 weeks. What's your sense of how the president's going to play this? Is he going to be talking about it every 15 minutes, or is he going to let Congress do whatever it is that Congress does?
Well, he wants to talk about it in that he wants to keep it on the front burner, but at this moment his strategy is to talk about it without inserting himself too much into the details. He wants to at least give the Senate a chance to come up with their bill, but he warned in his speech when he flew to Las Vegas, he said, I have a bill, it's ready to go, and if Congress gets tripped up on the details, I will not hesitate to bring out my bill and demand a vote.
The irony of this is that during his first term, Republicans were constantly complaining that he wasn't leading on this subject, saying, we're not getting anything done because the president doesn't care, he isn't leading. Now they're saying, stay as far away as you can. We don't want to hear from you, you're going to poison it, and we've got this. Right. You know, so it's been just a 180.
So what are the politics? I mean, are the Republicans really ready to compromise with Barack Obama and have a joint thing, which would be a victory for the president?
I think it depends on what you mean by Republicans. I mean, the Republican leadership and the prominent senators, the former RNC people, or the members of the kind of top members of the Republican Party, are involved in this whole rebranding effort and trying to get their footing by them. Definitely. I mean, I think it's probably their 1 or 2 top priorities is to basically get the immigration as an irritant off the table and then try to re-engage in a new way with Hispanic voters. If you're talking about Republicans in the House, for instance, I think is going to be the biggest obstacle. I don't think we yet know. I mean, this Judiciary Committee hearing was interesting, but where the kind of bulk of the Republican Party is in the House is going to be the main stumbling block and could determine what the contours of this is.
Yeah, there's like a really different imperatives. When you look at it from a national point of view, a Republican point of view, you say, hey, we can't win the White House unless we deal with this. But if you're a member of the House in a safe Republican district, the worst thing that can happen to you is to get a primary challenge from someone to the right. And this is an issue where if you start compromising, there are a lot of people to the right.